Hey guys, it's Alyssa from mylifesamovie.com, and right now I'm going to show you my trick for how I find the cheapest flights and how it also determines on where I go next. So, the first thing that I always do is I type in cheap flights from wherever I'm departing from. So, in this case it would be LAX. And then I type worldwide. So you're going to get a bunch of search results, but the one that you're looking for if you're leaving from the United States is going to be kayak. So cheap flights from Los Angeles to worldwide from $78, not bad. If you're doing this internationally, you are going to want to do Skyscanner because those are always cheaper than kayak. So we're going to click on cheap flights from Los Angeles to worldwide kayak. And it brings you to the worldwide search page. I didn't put in any dates. Don't put in any dates. But if you are specific on dates, maybe you can't get off work until a certain time, or you want to save a bunch of money, you can scroll through their date-specific little search thing right here. April, is that summer? I have no idea because I don't have a summer. But you can see here, they'll give you different prices in different places, depending on date. If you're looking for cheapest in general, it'll all come up right here. It usually starts with the closest to you, obviously, so this is all North America, but that's not what I am interested in. I'm interested in this, which is worldwide. So it has all of the areas, continents, whatever, so you can automatically see the prices. So if you're going for cheapest, you're going to be looking at, after North America, you're going to be looking at, let's see, $271 Central America. Cheapest. In this case, I would like to go to Norway, so I'm going to click on Europe. So from LAX to Europe, you can see the origin, and you can mess with that, but I'll get to that next. And then the destination. So it depends on, I guess these are in alphabetical order, but this is where the cheapest search is. So it goes, you can see Norway is the first cheapest one, and then for $30 more, it goes to LGW, which I believe is London. Nope, just kidding. I don't know what it is. Yeah, just kidding. I'm right, London. So for $4.58, I can go to Norway on Norwegian. And the reason why I like searching this way is because I don't really have a preference for dates. So this already gives me the dates. So January 21st, leave and return January 26th. I would obviously extend that, but it's a 6-day trip. Actually, I could do that, but it picks the dates for me so that I don't have to mess around constantly and figure out which days are cheapest to fly. But as you can see, here's all the list of the other European countries. So if you're, again, specific, you can go here, and these are the cheapest dates. So these are all already dates picked out for you. It just is telling you when it's cheapest to go. So you can use that for reference. I could also write down those dates and mess around with them on a different search and do plus or minus 3 days if I want to stay longer, anything like that. But right now, $4.58 is not a bad price to get to Norway. So let's do another search though, because I just had to mess around with this a little bit more to get to Lima, or actually to Cusco, to go to Machu Picchu. So I knew that leaving out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami or anywhere in Florida would be a lot cheaper than leaving out of LA, since it's closer to South America. So what I did was cheap flights from FLL, Fort Lauderdale International, to worldwide. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what about the flight from Florida, or from LA to Florida? But my round trip flight happened to be during the holidays, and I think it was only $150, which I ended up using for using my frequent flyer points. So that flight was free to Fort Lauderdale, because I'm good with points. You should be too. And then cheap flights from Fort Lauderdale, cheap flights from Fort Lauderdale. Clearly I do a lot of flight searches. You can do any of these actually, because I'm just going to change it anyway. I'm not going to Denver. Well, I am going to Denver, but so you just go browse destinations worldwide, change it on the right. These are all of the prices over here if you leave from Fort Lauderdale. So as you can see, it gets cheaper. So now South America is only $160 instead of $4.58, I think was on the other one. Oh, this is what I did for Lima. I'm thinking Norway still, but so I click on South America. This is how I found my flight to Peru, and I go to Peru over here. This is also fun to look at because obviously a flight for $160 to South America is just awesome, but I'm not going to Colombia, at least not yet, so let's just stick to how I got to Peru. Peru. So, $296 to go to Peru for 10 days. That's not terrible at all. $312 if I want to go even sooner for 9 days. If you look over here, you can see Cusco Airport is $534 to fly to from Fort Lauderdale, but Lima is only $300. If you're cheap like I am, you want the one that's for $300, obviously. So what I did was I took the $300 flight, and then I did cheap flights from Lima to Cusco. You can take a bus, but I'm pretty sure it takes about 24 hours. And then I found their local, see, Lima to Cusco from $99, but I usually look at the local airlines. So Peruvian has flights from Lima to Cusco every day. I knew that already, so now you know that already. But you can just do Lima to Cusco and depart on whatever those dates were. I think it was, let's say I'm there the 16th through the 24th, so let's say the 17th, maybe the 18th, because I feel like that'd be cheaper. And then $68 to go from Lima to Cusco. So if I did $300 flight to get to Lima plus $70, that's $370. So you're saving over $100 to fly directly to Cusco. Well, so that's good. It's always fun. But yeah, those are my tips. So as long as you mess around with the location and if your dates are flexible, that'll be your best bet at finding the cheapest flight. Also, make sure you remember that your home airport isn't always going to be the cheapest airport for different destinations. For me, it's good for Europe, but not for South America. So if you can find a cheaper flight to, say, New York or Florida or even Texas, you can find a lot cheaper flights to a lot of different destinations. So that's my suggestion for finding cheap flights. Other tips are don't be picky, and keep in mind that you can always fly somewhere and then use local flights to fly to better places for cheaper, and never underestimate overnight buses, because I did that recently and it wasn't that bad. I smelled bad, but the trip wasn't bad. Good luck and safe travels.